Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Jedi Knights Watch. My name is Graham, and today we're doing another Hot Toys 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And this one is going to be on Bespin Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, the DX24. And this is one that I had my eye on for a very long time during the pre-order process. Was kind of going back and forth on if I should get this one, if I should get Mando Luke. And I just sided with this one because I think it's the better movie. It's the original trilogy, which is really what I like to collect. So I'm really happy to get this in hand. This is going to be waitlisted on Sideshow, but I was able to secure this at my local comic book store called Powers Comics in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I don't know if they have a website, but they are on Facebook if you want to check them out. But I did get the last DX24, not the DX25. That one has the second base plus the Luke Skywalker head sculpt in the Vader mask itself. I didn't really need that. I don't like that base at all. The base that I'm really intrigued to see comes with this figure, so we're going to look at that in just a minute. But you can see images of the box here. It is the typical Star Wars style box, but it's got that cigar band, which I really like, and it's a slip cover, so you can see this awesome, cool looking image of Luke Skywalker. And then when we get it onto the table, we see like this foliage Star Wars here, and it is going to be the side slide cover, if you can say that. Kind of a tongue twister. But then we get even another print here of Luke, and it's kind of like this blue, and it's like this black and white image with this blue hue to it. But yeah, it's just got a blurb there about Luke under there. And when we take it off, we get the really nice DX packaging. We get the foam packaging, which I really love. I wish Hot Toys would go with foam packaging or styrofoam packaging for all their stuff. I think it's really classy and it's really nice. Obviously for a DX, you're not seeing a whole ton of stuff here, which is a little bit of a letdown, but let's just unpack this thing and see what else is in the bottom. When we take the top foam off, you can see we got the cool base, the directions, and a couple more accessories on the bottom. First impressions in person is this figure looks really cool and really clean. Yes, I do wish there was some more weathering to it, but let's get them out of the box and start with this great base that Hot Toys gave us. I'm a big fan of diorama bases, and they don't need to be huge or gaudy. Let's just take the wrapping off of here. They just need to be part of the scene, and I think they did a really good job. You have like the dry brushing going on, making this look like Cloud City. Got the cool light up effect here, and even when this isn't lit up, it looks really good. You have the USB-C plug in here, and then on and off. So you can use this as just this base lit up, or you can put this cool piece on it too with these canisters, and this looks really good too. Just really good paint applications. You got the tubing, which is actually flexible. These do light up as well, and again, more dry brushing, just making this look really authentic. Does not look soft at all. Looks really good. You could power this up individually if you want, or it has this little plug adapter that you just slide out, and then you can push it into the base here, and they'll both light up at the same time. So really good idea. The only problem is it does not stay connected very good at all. It just falls right out. It's a very bad connection. Even when this is on the display, if you're gonna bump it, you might not get loose. Comes with a waist grabber. I would prefer a crotch grabber because, I don't know, I just don't like the waist grabbers. I think it's just easier to put under the crotch of the figure, and it doesn't grab as much. It's just a lot easier for me. So I did have to supply my own USB-C cable, and you can see this is pulling apart again right away. Make sure it's all the way out. But I wish Hot Toys would give us the cable. I mean, it's only a couple bucks. Why not just give a cable? But luckily for me, I was prepared and I have it ready. So we're just going to turn this on, and this looks great. I love like the gradient effect here on the base, the lighting effect. It looks super cool, and this is so cool that you can have this lit up in your display at all times. You don't have to worry about changing batteries or anything like that. So I'm really impressed with this base. I wish the cord came with it. Wish it didn't have the waist grabber, but it is super cool, and it looks good whether it's plugged in or not. Going to the accessories that come with our Luke Skywalker, there's not much here. It is kind of a letdown for a DX. Again, I could have gone the step up, but I just didn't want any of those pieces. A lot of this stuff we've seen before. We have the Luke Skywalker lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back, and again, you have the blades here. The blue blade will just plug right into it. I wish Hot Toys would rethink these lightsabers. They're just very desaturated, you know, just not, they don't look like authentic lightsabers. It's kind of like capes. I just wish they'd put a little bit more effort into it. We do have the light up arm here, which is probably one of the last ones we'll ever see. I never use these. I have it out here for the review, and it'll go right back into the box. They are going to USB as well. And then we do have the hands, which is another kind of troublesome thing here that I'm seeing, is just how many hands we have. We don't have any, too many matches. So this is the pistol holding hand, and then we got some gesturing hands here. But on the figure itself, it has the 2 lightsaber holding hands. But yeah, one fisted, one force hand, one gesturing hand. Just kind of odd that they wouldn't give us more. His blaster is really cool. I've always liked his blaster. It's very unique. It's got some dry brushing to it, some weathering. Looks like it's been used. It's not just a flat paint application. Looks really, really good. And then we do have the pleather belt, which is also a nice feature. I'm surprised this wasn't on him when he was in the packaging. I'm surprised they're kind of making you put it on. Thought maybe this was a magnet, but no, it is fastened. So you do have to kind of loop it on the leg, and I'll show you how to do that. This though is magnetic, and that's just the holster for the blaster itself. Again, it's going to be pleather, and the pouches are going to be able to move and slide. Here is the hairstyle that comes with our Luke Skywalker as well. It's the secondary one, the clean or the neat version. But here is the figure out of the box as we see him. Kind of looks like he just needs his Ghostbusters pack and he's ready to go fight ghosts. But this is actually Bespin Luke. Again, very, very clean. I think this is the best head sculpt of Mark Hamill we've gotten to date. Pretty impressed with it. Is it perfect? No, but it's getting there. I think he's just been a hard one to get right, but I do like that they're giving you the extra hair sculpt. I think the messy hair looks pretty good. Here up close, he's got kind of like a glistening to the skin where he looks like he's like sweating, and I think it threw me off at first, but I do like it because if we're looking at him being on Dagobah, he's working out, he's sweating, or when he's fighting Vader, he's obviously trying to beat him and kind of sweating there too. But let's just get him in hand, take a closer look here. Again, you can see how clean this figure is. I really do wish there was some weathering on this thing, maybe a little bit of battle damage. Didn't have to be like all out battle damage, but just some. You can see how the skin kind of glistens and shines. I'm not sure if I like it or not yet. I mean, it's a cool effect, but it doesn't bother me too much, I guess. The hair sculpt comes on and off pretty easily. This is all going to be stitched, so you're not going to be able to really open this up. The pockets are going to be stitched in, so it's all kind of like faux pockets, if you will. Really good looking figure, but I could see at the same time where people might think this is boring. Got the boots down here, which feel like a pleather material, and I'm trying to just move the ankles and they feel very stiff. I don't know if it's the thickness of the boot itself or if it's just being that it's a new figure. But the ankles are very stiff, so I'm not sure how much like movement there is there. You got the mole here, you got the skin glistening. I think the likeness is great. The profile is amazing. The messy hair looks good. Very good at sculpted hair, Hot Toys is getting. So you can see too, it's got the lightsaber hands. This is going to be a one-piece suit. And yeah, going into articulation, you can move the head up to about there. You can move it down to about there. It does have some tilt and swivel as well. And then as we go into the arms, you can definitely get up to about a 90-degree angle. Going forward, it's a little bit more difficult. The shoulder seems to want to bunch up, so it does kind of restrict it a little bit. But good news is it's going to have a double bend in the arm, and you can see, but it does pull the sleeve down. Typical wrist movement as well. And then we have swivel in the bicep as well. Going into the abdomen area, he's got a little bit of crunch. Can go back a little bit there. And then he does have some swivel side to side. Legs can go almost to about there, and then it does have a little bit of like a ratchet in the knee, which is something I'm seeing a lot more these days. And then you do have that swivel in the thigh as well. The boots should allow for articulation, but it does feel pretty stiff. And again, I don't know if it's the material that's kind of holding it back or if it's just being that it's a new figure. But overall, pretty good articulation with this guy. So now let's just get the belt and holster out here and just kind of finagle this on. Pretty simple. You can look at your directions, but I'll just show you how to do it really quick as well, as soon as I can kind of find where it needs to be. And what I did was I just looped this part of the holster onto the leg, and then kind of tough to do when you're filming, just because you're kind of fighting to get it, trying to stay in frame, looking at all this stuff. And then just Making sure that I have it wrapped on here. You could probably put the arms up, would make it a little bit easier, but we'll get it eventually. That's kind of what we do here, just trial and error. And it's a cool looking belt. I do like that buckle. It's a metal piece right there. The holster itself is going to be a little tricky to get the blaster in, just because it is that pleather material, so you do have to be careful and make sure you get that pistol in just right so you don't damage that holster. And on the back here, it's just a Velcro piece, and it fits nice and snug. There's some movement, so you can move the pockets or the pouches to where you need them to be, kind of slide the holster up to where you want it to sit as well. And it does actually add a good amount to the figure. You know, he looked really plain, and the belt does help. It's still kind of a plain figure, but it's so epic. It's such a great moment in Star Wars that you just really can't complain about it. So there it is. There you have the holster. And moving on to the hair pieces, we're just going to show you what it looks like with the messy hair and just pop it off. And this one is a little tighter of a fit, but there's the clean hair look, or the neat hair. And I do think I prefer the messy hair with this. You know, I do have the Snow Pilot Luke, and I have the neat hair on that one. So I definitely think I want to go messy with this one. But this is just kind of giving you a look at what he looks like with both styles of hair pieces. Now this figure also is going to have the single eyeball rolling system. So you have this little tool here, you pop the hair piece off, and you can kind of see in there, you just take this tool, plug it into the socket there, and then you can move the eyes to whatever which way you want. I do struggle with that just because it's hard to get the eyes lined up just right. But here is the pistol and what it should look like in the holster, just to make sure you don't damage. Make sure that scope is on the outside of the holster. And let's compare him to that Snowspeeder Luke while we have it here. You can have the Bespin Luke on the left and the Snowspeeder on the right. Both should be in your display if you're an original trilogy fan. They both look really good, but I gotta say, this new head sculpt definitely blows the old one out of the water. And I don't know why they went with an open mouth head sculpt so many times for Luke Skywalker. Like, just do a neutral head sculpt with the mouth closed. This looks really good. It's not all the way there, like I mentioned before, but it's the best what we have, and I think it really does look a lot better than this Snowspeeder on the right. But let's do a head swap here and check it out. We do a head swap. We keep the hair on the figures that they came with. I think the head sculpt looks good on Snowspeeder, and then let's just swap the hair pieces too. I think actually Bespin looks pretty good too. It's not bad, but yeah, let me know in the comments which one you guys prefer. It's interesting to swap these and see what they look like. But for now, let's get them into some poses and talk about some of the things that I like about the figure and some things not so much. Starting with the things that I really like about this Luke, it's the best Mark Hamill head sculpt we've gotten. It looks good. It's not 100%. It's not a 10 out of 10. It's definitely 8, 8.5. I definitely see Luke Skywalker there, and I love the hairpiece as well. Second thing that I really like is this base. I love all of the options you have. It's a diorama base, but it's not over the top. It'll fit in your display. You can do different looks. You can turn it on, but when it's not on, it still looks really, really good. I love this base, and I hope Hot Toys does more of these. And the third thing is the interchangeable head and hair pieces. Not only that you get another hair piece, but the fact that you can interchange these with other Luke Skywalkers, it makes me want to get more of these head sculpts and pop them onto other Luke Skywalker figures. So that definitely might be something that I do in the future. Now for some things that I didn't like as much. The first would be the base connection. I think they need a more secure connection to connect the canisters to the actual base itself. If you nudge it, it'll become disconnected and part of the base won't work. So it's just very flimsy. Make sure you support it if you're moving it. The second thing that I wasn't so fond of was just the amount of hands we got. Like for a DX, shouldn't we get more hands? I remember old DX figures was just hands for every type of gesture. Now we don't even have a pair of hands. You know, it's just one here, one there. So that's just kind of annoying, and felt like Hot Toys kind of cheaped out on that. The third thing that I was kind of annoying and I didn't like was the lack of weathering. This is a great figure. I just wish the boots had a little bit more weathering, the pants and the shirt. Just, you know, make it look like it was worn. He was in Dagobah before this, and then he went to Cloud City, so he was wearing this outfit. It should have a little bit of wear and tear, and I know it is before the Vader fight scene, but I still would have liked it, and I'm sure Hot Toys will give us a battle damage Luke eventually. Alright guys, so there you have it. Let me know what you think of this figure in the comments below. Did you get this? Did you pass on it? Did you choose a different Luke over this one? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. This right here is going to be the pose that I keep him in and put him on the shelf. So I'm super excited. I'm going to actually do something a little bit different and show you what this looks like in the display with the lights on, with it wired up, because that's something I've been working on. I did get a Darth Vader with a CCFL lightsaber, and now I just want more, and now I definitely need a CCFL lightsaber for this Luke, because if you look at him, you see how cool Vader's lightsaber is. Luke's got a great base, but now he needs a lightsaber to match. So this is what it's going to look like in the display. Going to look at ordering that lightsaber, but it is super, super cool. You got the base lit up. You got the canisters lit up. Super cool. I love the circular base here as well. It's just something different. So this is my Luke. I'm proud to have him. Let me know what you guys think of the video down below. Please like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.